Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
She's from the Daily Oz. She is the editor. She is Gillespie.
Well, hello to you today, my friends. Diddy's been dropped. He had a big fancy lawyer and the lawyer said, no, thank you. I don't want to represent you anymore. Diddy, of course, Sean Combs is his real name, who was arrested in September and charged with several offences, including human trafficking charges, a lot of charges relating to these freak-off parties where he sexually coerced and abused people, filmed them without their consent, a whole raft of allegations that we
And the
could go
drugs
into.
were in the lube.
Yep, the drugs
That's what
were in
we've
the
worked
lube.
out.
There was a lot of baby oil. Anyway, he's in a lot of trouble. He's facing life behind bars, and he's got a whole team of legal representation, but one of the three main attorneys representing him has filed a motion to withdraw from the case, citing unspecified sufficient reasons that he can no longer represent the music mogul. Anthony Ricco is this guy's name. He said in a motion, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs. So again, no specifics because of attorney-client privilege. But he said without violating any aspect of that privilege or otherwise providing any details whatsoever on the grounds supporting the application, the government's been notified of the filing to withdraw. The government takes no position on the motion seeking withdrawal. So basically that means that, a judge has to sign off on it, but there's no reason to indicate that they wouldn't sign off on it. So it's, not really clear how long that will take, but his legal team have said it's not expected to impact the trial, which is due to take place from the 5th of May.
And
Just from what I've, I have no insight into any of this story, but from what the movies and stuff that you watch, as soon as a lawyer has a whiff that you're guilty, they can't defend you anymore.
Well, it's certainly a bad look. And I think ironically, this attorney-client privilege thing, which is the reason that we're not going to get more detail, might actually be more harmful than it might be productive.
Because all of us, I imagine, are speculating exactly as I just did.
Well, exactly. And if a criminal defence lawyer who agrees to represent Diddy, knowing all he knows in terms of the allegations and the charges, he's signed on thinking, this is something he can defend. I don't want to make any jokes about lawyers, but it seems pretty bad to walk away, right?
Yeah, of course.
If you can't be on board for that.
Well, you got to believe that your client is innocent.
Or you don't have to believe they're innocent.
Well, it's just
but you have to believe you can win.
You have to believe you can win. But I think if you know they're not innocent, I don't think you can defend
the evidence, and that's what I said before about the footage, that one of him patting down Justin Bieber to see if he's wearing a wire. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, that's a really weird video.
That's a weird
from
video.
a long, long time ago.
Yeah, but he's
sort of
patting his
paranoid that the people that he's hanging out with, he's like checking them to see if they're wearing a wire to make sure he's not being listened into. But it has to be said, the lawyers for this guy are working overtime. There is so much going on. There is this criminal charge. There's also dozens and dozens of civil suits that victims or alleged victims have brought, claiming, suing him for assault and abuse and the rest. The lawyers, though, asked a judge last week to dismiss one of the charges that's been brought against Diddy. It's one of the human trafficking charges. It's about transportation to engage in prostitution. And they've claimed that no white person has ever been argued that they have sort of breached this kind of a charge in this way. No one of this kind of fame or high profile in any other high profile sexual abuse cases has faced this kind of charge. They've said that Combs has been singled out because he's a powerful black man and he's being prosecuted for conduct that regularly goes unpunished in other similar cases. So they're trying to obviously reduce the charges that he's facing. But like I said, he is facing life behind bars.
And what about Beyonce's husband?
Yeah, so Jay-Z...
You'd seen something get dropped there?
Yeah, so there was this lawsuit accusing Jay-Z and Diddy of the assault of a 13-year-old in the year 2000. Eesh. That was a civil suit, so again, not criminal charges, but a lawsuit seeking damages. That has been dropped. So that was huge when that one broke, because everyone had been speculating, as they continue to speculate, who were the other celebrities that were involved. All these parties were, well attended by the industry heavyweights like Jay-Z, and people have been waiting for more and more names. So, he's been cleared technically there. There's also a $100 million defamation lawsuit that Diddy has launched. He's clapping back. Do you remember that documentary? It came out at the start of this year. It's called Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. Anyway, NBC was part of it. A lot of the allegations first came to light from that documentary. being produced, and he's seeking a really big defamation settlement, which might cover 1% of his legal bills.
Yeah, well, there's some good news.
At least he's down one lawyer now.
Yeah. Oh, and he was rushed to hospital with a sore knee, but he's all good. He went back to jail a few hours later.
He's got plenty of liniment at home, hasn't he?
That's all I've got.
That deep heat.
Rub some baby oil into it, Sean.
Thank you, Em.
Thank you.